Why do you think MLB is just so stubborn? Do it on 4th of July weekend where people already have off, they're already traveling.
Don't have the actual game on a Tuesday.
I think it's ignorant because you have nothing else going on that's going to take center stage. Baseball holds on to tradition and they refuse to let go because they're like, we're the oldest sport, we're America's pastime. We'll just do what we want because we were here first. And it's kind of like that oldest kid who pretends that all his siblings are the brats, but he or she is the real brat in the room.
Welcome to another episode of episode 168 of Cinco Squad. We are here back again. It is All Star weekend coming up, even though it doesn't feel like it because it doesn't start until Monday, which is weird to me.
I mean, if you're in Atlanta, it starts on like Wednesday. So
Yeah.
today or at time of recording or Thursday but yeah, for those that aren't in Atlanta, yeah, the typical events, yeah, they don't start until like Saturday night and Sunday.
Damn baseball and their traditions. Like, just move it to the weekend. Allow people to not have to take off work. Or if you're gonna do it, I agree with what one podcast said here earlier. Is that do it on 4th of July weekend where people already have off. They're already traveling. Maybe they're traveling to said city already. They can go and utilize it and utilize the activities. Do it on Monday and Tuesday. They just got out of 4th of July, so they probably took all their PTO. They probably took everything that they could right now. So why are they going to go travel to Atlanta? Like, I'd love to go one year, but it's never convenient enough to go to the city. So I just never understand that. So I wanted to hear your side of that. Like, why do you think MLB is just so stubborn?
Because they're MLB, because it's baseball. I mean, they're stubborn about everything. It's a shocker that they've changed like so much so that I'm surprised that they're actually using the replay challenge system that they put in this year in the All-Star game.
The Robo.
But yeah, I mean, put it on 4th of July or something like that. Also, don't have the actual game on a Tuesday because you want people at home to watch the game, but you don't put the game on until 8:00, which really means closer to 9:00 after all of the festivities before it. People got to go to bed to go to work on Wednesday, so I feel like if you put it on like on Saturday night or even Sunday night, you might get better viewership universally, and have the home run derby and celebrity softball the night before. Like, you don't need to have it stretched out so much that you're doing the most interesting things to most fans, especially most baseball fans, on Monday and Tuesday night when people have to work the next day.
Also, they gotta have more guys in the home run derby that are notable. Like, I know we know the guys, baseball fans know the guys, but the traditional fan that just is not watching all the time, like Grandpa Jay and Trey Day, they don't know who most of these players are. Put some names in there, like Ronald Acuna's in it. Who else is in it?
O'Neal Cruz, but baseball fans know him. I think Cal Raleigh's in it because he's leading the league in homer.
Yeah, I think just some more notable names that in the Derby is going to ultimately help the fans experience, right? And like when we had G, I think the last notable like fun home run derby was 2017 when Judge and Giancarlo Stanton went head to head. That was fun in Miami. I mean, you got excited, you got happy because there are two big names in the game, two skyscrapers in the game. I think with baseball, I'm so tired of the traditional bullshit that we continue to give. And it just goes back to like the whole Pete Rose thing. And I'm not going to make this a whole Pete Rose episode, but I knew it. And I told you this, and I wish we could archive and find the episode where I said it. He's not getting in the Hall of Fame and not getting back into baseball until he dies. And that's exactly what happened. He dies.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
And not even a week later. Week later or so, a week or a few months later or something like that, they reinstated.
Not long.
It was not long at all. And it's like, dude, like, really? Now you're reinstating him? Like, you might as well just leave him. Now it's a slap in the face to him and his family to be like, oh, yeah, now he's in. If I was his family, I'd be like, nah, keep him on the list, please. He died on that list. He better stay on that list.
That's he said.
Way I feel. Keep him on the list.
That's what he said. And the one of the other sucky parts about it is that yes, he's eligible for the Hall of Fame now. They still have to wait because they're still going to put him to the restrictions of the veterans committees for like the eras. And his era of veterans committee doesn't meet until I think 2027 or
Well, they
2028.
got 2 years for it, so he's gonna
Yeah.
get in.
I mean,
But if
yeah,
I'm
they're
his family,
definitely
I'm
going to
not
put him in.
accepting it on his behalf because why would you? But let's bring in our baseball connoisseur, Mr. Grandpa Jay. Grandpa Jay, always our baseball guy. Why do you
Styling
think?
and
Why do you
profiling.
think the MLB is so goddamn stubborn on the All Star game being on a Monday and Tuesday when every other All Star game is either on a Friday or Saturday or even Sunday? I don't even mind Sunday for NBA. Like
Right.
Sunday is
Right.
okay for me for NBA. It's still the weekend. You can still travel to the game. Take what Monday. You can take Friday off for MLB All Star game. You literally have to take off Monday, Tuesday, travel Wednesday. That's another day off, and then you're going back to work on Thursday. Like if you're in sales, if you're in something like that, you're losing a lot of selling days. At least like if you take Monday and Friday off, it's not really it's not really in big days, right? Like you're taking off the entire week pretty much. So, what are your thoughts on the MLB just basically being stubborn?
No, I think it's ignorant because you have nothing else going on that's going to take center stage. Everything is completed in terms of where elsewhere people can choose to decide, I don't want to look at this, I'll look at that instead. So I think it's like baseball holds on to tradition and they've refused to let go because they're like, we're the oldest sport, we're America's pastime. We'll just do what we want because we were here first. And it's kind of like that oldest kid who pretends that all his siblings are the brats, but he or she is the real brat in the room because they have that older sibling sort of like ego and complex. So I just feel like they don't listen to their audience enough. I think they were forced to listen to their audience when they realized that nobody wanted to go to a ballpark for 4 hours, and so they shortened the game. At least they took some approach to making more people want to go to the ballpark. But like you said, like All Star Weekend should be about participation. Now it's the summertime, so you say the kids are out of school, so there's really no excuse why you can't take the kids because they don't have to wake up and go to school the next day. But the parents have to go to work. So I don't know why it doesn't become a weekend celebration. It makes absolutely no sense to me. Are they cutting cost on accommodation? Because it's a Monday, Tuesday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday thing. Like, I mean, they have all the money in the world to spend. I couldn't tell you why, other than the fact that they're just ignorant.
They're billionaires just being raking in all billionaires. Now I have a great idea for this entire thing. So you know how like NHL did like this four nations face off. Do it for the MLB. Do a four nations type face off in MLB. Shorten the games to 7 innings. Allow them to play for a week. Have a week off. You can take a week off a 162 game season. They actually probably need a week off or two, right? Take 2 weeks off. Have this type of where you have uh, I don't know, like you have Japan, you have USA, you have Caribbean teams, like made up of all of them, which would be unreal, right? You almost have to probably separate that, but 4 teams, 4 to 6 teams, and you just play in like a little mini tournament right in the middle of the season. It's been working for the NBA in their in-season tournament. It worked for the NHL. The NHL probably skyrocketed in ratings during that time. Have it that, and then on the last day hold the tradition of your home run derby right before that game. Right before that game, get the crowd going. The home run derby's at like 5 or 6, right? And have it on like a Friday night where it's home run derby, then the game. But whoever's in the game can't participate in the home run derby, right? So you still get the home run derby, the classic home run derby esque, but you still get like some more competitive. Because what do we know about you know just Olympic sports in general? People get heightened over World Cup, over Olympics, just get excited about their countries. We saw it down in Miami when they had the World Baseball Classic. I mean, it was crazy. DR fans, Puerto Rican fans, Venezuelan. Like it was just unreal to see the fandom come out. So I think if they do something like that, you're gonna see record numbers because it's gonna be unreal the amount of fans they're gonna have. Plus, you still have the home run derby at the last game where it's some excitement right before the big game.
Yeah, that's a good idea because you feel like you have a whole dog in the fight, not just a player or two from your country. And it would probably make sense to have Asia, Europe, South America, Central America, Caribbean, which kind of seems unfair, like you said, and then North America, and that kind of divides the world into 4 quadrants. You're like, all right, we're just gonna, duke it out. But would you have to do a shortened format game for that? Like, do you want to play 2 full games and then have a third game? Do you go a 7-inning format? Do you do it like Little League
Well, that's what I
style?
was saying. 7 innings. So you do a 7 inning format, kind of like minors where they play doubleheaders. They play a 7 inning game. You play 7 inning games. You play you still play with the pitch clock. You play with robo umps if you want. It allows the game to go faster. It doesn't allow you to hurt your guy's arms. And we know that, okay, but if someone, we say it all the time that everyone would go, and I'm sure a lot of people will argue this, that people are willing to play for their country. It doesn't matter when. The reason why the NHL now is heightened now because now NHL players can now play in the Winter Olympics this year. It wasn't before because of Jonathan Tavares had a phenomenal season, tore his ACL, done for the year. Islanders basically missed the playoffs after that. So I just see the players being like, I don't care. Look at Matthew Tkachuk. Basically ended his season, ended up coming back in the playoffs. But I think it would be awesome to see. Get you a little hype. Give the guys 2 weeks off. You can extend the season up, and you have room to play. Like, you have 9 months of a season. Like, it's not like you don't have movement to play. So I think that would be pretty cool to kind of just something different. Something go off a little different where you're going to get the fans more experience. So I guess we already covered the All-Star Weekend topics, but yes, thank you everyone for tuning in. This is Cinco Squad. Grandpa Jay's here. Johnny John's here. And Mikey Mike's here. So, yes, we are locked in and loaded. It is summertime. Sports are kind of dull right now. We got the Open Championship next week at Royal Port Rush. Sorry, I always mess that up. So, I got to ask you.
Yes.
Who wins at Royal Port Rush? Which golfer? Will it be Rory McIlroy or Shane Lowry? His hometown.
I would love for it to be Shane Lowry. I mean, I was going to say the conventional answer is so long as Scotty Scheffler is playing in said tournament, him. Rory's been really struggling lately, hasn't he?
Yeah, he just can't find
he won the Masters.
Can't find any part of his game right now, which is kind of weird because I feel like the balloon was popped when he won the Masters and got his Grand Slam, and now he's just it's not that he doesn't care. He obviously cares, but it's just something happened. I don't know what happened with him. He's just kind of what Max said.
It's almost like in your other team sports in the playoffs, your team's on the brink of elimination and the star player gives everything they've got to keep them alive in game 6 and then just doesn't have anything left for game 7 type of thing to it. Where it's like he put everything he had from his game on the line in the Masters to win. And now it's because it's that monkey's off his back. Now now I have to find I have to find that new drive now that I've accomplished the one thing that everybody's been telling me we said it back when he won. Everybody's been telling me for over a decade that I need to do. I finally did it. What's the next, goal? Mm-hmm. Other than just trying to win a tournament? What's the next driving force? So I guess it feels like a cop-out answer for every tournament, but yeah, I will say Scotty until he doesn't win, because I feel like
I'm gonna take Tommy Fleetwood. I feel like he always plays pretty well there. He kind of grew up in those conditions. I think his average in the tournament last 4 years has been top 15. At some point, he has to have a breakthrough. I feel it's probably this year kind of feels like that, right? A lot of players are getting their breakthrough moment in golf. And last year is the year of Scotty. This year, it's like everybody else kind of having their moment to shine when they get that opportunity. And I don't know, I feel like Tommy's just a great golfer. So at some point, some of these young guns have to start breaking that mold of it's either going to be Scotty, it's either going to be Rory. I mean, Xander's the defending champ. You guys don't think Xander can win back-to-back?
I mean, it's definitely possible. I think that Xander won due to conditions last year. I think he played great golf, but conditions weren't very good. But looking at the field, I mean, I'm looking at a few guys. Tommy's one of them. Bryson's another one.
Yeah,
Um,
Bryson.
they've both been playing very good golf. But I wouldn't be surprised if Keegan Bradley contends. He's been playing
That'd be
really
cool.
good golf, really strong golf, and he's going to be the first ever U.S. captain of the Ryder Cup to be a playing captain.
That's
So
Looking
awesome.
at the odds, they have John Rahm up there. I thought he was playing shit golf this year.
no, he's been playing real well. He's
Yeah.
played shit on Sunday. Like
Okay.
Sunday, he did not play well at the U.S. Open or the PGA Championship. But yeah, I mean, it's gonna come down to like, I mean, this is links golf. A lot of these Europeans, they this is what they grew up on. So, but playing so much American golf over here in the states, it's you get away from those tracks a little bit. But I mean, it should be a fun tournament. They were talking about moving the PGA Championship. So I was reading something on Twitter where a lot of golf fans want the PGA Championship moved back to August because they feel like all the majors are done by the end of, which they are, middle of July, where we
Right.
don't have this hype anymore. What are your guys' thoughts on that? I mean, I know you guys aren't the biggest golf fans, but you got all these majors pretty much completing in like a 10, 12 week span. So, what are your
Yeah.
thoughts?
Yeah. Well, seeing as, and I've been trying to get more into golf, both on the playing side and on the viewing side. But yeah, I feel like as someone that's trying to get into golf more, it would be more entertaining for me or better for me to not have just a single period of time when I really have to pay attention and then, okay, all the majors are over. I have no lead up to majors, so there's not as much incentive for the fair weather or the, you know, sometimes golf fan to really get into it because like, all right, all I have to do is pay attention for this 10 to 12 weeks. And then there's no real lead up to anything other than the end of the FedEx. And then I'm kind of just done.
But I feel they do that intentionally, right? Like you kind of give the players a chance to recoup and get ready for the FedEx. The top 70 players want to play quality golf because that is the payday of all paydays at this point, right? So you're trying to play well enough for the first half of the year to then have this September, push or August push to win the FedEx Cup. And it's kind of fascinating that NASCAR tried to mimic the same thing, but it doesn't really have the same appeal because in golf, you kind of feel like we've said it, right? That the FedEx Cup format, is it changing this year, John? Are they finally decided not to do are they giving that advantage where like you
Oh yeah,
start the,
yeah. There's no advantages. That's the only thing is like, so if you come in as number one, you're not gonna beat 10 under, right? So if
yeah,
you're not you don't have 10 shots on someone, which is good
yeah,
because a
Right.
lot of
yeah,
the times you go into the Sunday and they're not the best player. They're just there's some guys.
you just ahead by too much.
I think it was Siwoo Kim or something like that that shot like 8 under one on Sunday. And if he wouldn't have shot, if they did all like the correlation, if they just started at even, he would have won the FedEx Cup. So
But,
you're playing with $18 million, right? You're playing for the
Right.
biggest payday of the year, bar none. But personally, like I was the proponent to move it to May because think about it. In August, a lot of people are traveling for summer. A lot of people are not home. A lot of people are doing other things in the summertime up in the north and whatnot. That's the way I felt. Like I was barely around because I was playing summer hockey, baseball. Like I was always moving around. So like I like it in May because I'm home. I'm not doing anything, and I'm work. It's not summer vacation. It's right after the big major. I didn't mind it. I was the big proponent to move it to May because there was too much gap between the Masters and Father's Day. It was April 1 to Father's Day, pretty much weekends every year for the U.S. Open. So then you had the Open, then it was like the Open and then the PGA in August. I didn't like that. I liked it, and also like if you're coming off a high to that point, if you're playing your best golf and you win the PGA Championship and you're out, obviously you're in the PGA Tour. Shouldn't that be a good starting point to start working out and going to the FedEx Cups? I mean, that's why I see it.
Yeah,
I
I
agree.
mean it's good as it's good as a golfer. I just from it I guess it depends on the perspective you're coming at it from. It's not so good as trying to bring in more of an audience that isn't already into golf because you're not giving them incentive to watch other than this 10 to 12 weeks. But if you're already into golf, it like you said, it's great to continue to be able to watch it and not have to be tied up with like summer plans and stuff. And it's great as a golfer because you can go major to major to major and be still playing your golf. So I guess it's all like kind of how you're coming at it.
All right. Well, you know who's in summer vacation are the Nuggets, and the Denver Nuggets have a situation with Jonas Valanciunas, who recently was traded there, but he mentions that he wants to play in Greece and might not might not play for the Nuggets. How would you handle that situation, Grandpa Jay?
Let him go. If you don't want to play for me, then go. I don't want anybody on my roster that's in between whether or not they want to be in Denver helping me win a championship, because that window is pretty much closed, I would say, after this year. I feel like Jokic will slowly start losing interest. And once Jokic decides I'm pretty much done with this game because we don't see him as somebody who is going to play the game for a long time, Denver's going to have to start rebuilding again. They have pieces to let go of if Jokic makes that choice. But Valanciunas is not the replacement for him if he was to make that move soon either. I think this is just them trying to bring in some size and to have him on the court when, Jokic plays a lot of minutes, and perhaps it showed in these playoffs. It took its toll a little bit because he did look really fatigued in that game 7 where OKC just blew them out the water. So I understand the move, but I don't want anybody on my friggin' roster who's like, I'm not sure if I want to play for you. Then fucking go to Greece. I mean, look, life is better in Greece right now. The situation over there is you're going to pay less taxes on your money. You're going to live a better life probably. And he's a European anyway. He's closer to his home and his family. I get it. Like, it's a good choice for him. But you're not playing for me if you're undecisive. At this point, if you're indecisive, at this point in your career as well, nah, go do what you have to do. I'll figure it out somewhere else. Somebody else in the G League wants to play for me.
The only hiccup here is the fact that the contract, right? Mm-hmm. If I'm even if you don't play for me, if I still have to pay you, which most NBA contracts are, you're staying your ass here. Like, I'm giving you money. You don't just get to go wherever you want. So I disagree with
I think there's a void. There has to be a void in the contract.
Not if he self says I'm leaving, and a lot of these NBA contracts are pretty much guaranteed, and I'm sure his is. He's probably got a smart agent. So if he says I don't want it, I agree. I think there may be a part in his contract that says, oh, if you end up opting out of not playing or something, like, I don't know what the legal jargon might be, but if they have to pay him this year, you're playing. You're staying in Denver, and you're going to be here. I don't care if you're just in the city. You're going to stay. You're going to come to games. Like, you don't get that choice. Or you lose out on millions of dollars. Like, and I get that. I mean, I don't even think Jonas is even from Greece, is he?
No, I think it's Spain?
No, Lithuania.
Lithuania? Okay.
Yeah.
Spanish.
Valanciunas.
Close to Spain.
That isn't Spanish at all.
No, but these days there's names coming out of different countries that you wouldn't expect.
No, man, that name.
Fun fact: in the 2011 draft, he was the 5th overall pick, and the Toronto Raptors picked him. Mm-hmm. So basically, the salary situation. I'm trying to see the nitty gritty part of the contract. Right now, he's pretty much on 10.3 a year. And the Kings gave him a 3-year. Yeah, the Kings gave him a 3-year option for like almost $31 million, $30.3 million.
That's what I'm saying.
So he's guaranteed 20.2 of that. And I don't know what the incentive is in terms of like how many games he would have to play if there's a minimum amount of games to have that guarantee. I mean, I'm sure there's something in there that says that. So
I mean, that's the other thing I don't get is like, you're not even playing for your home country. Like, I understand when people go back to their home country and they play, but you're not even playing for your home country. You're just going to Greece. Do that in the off. Finish out your time in the NBA and go retire there. Do whatever you want to do. But if I have to pay you, you bet your ass I'm gonna be like, no, you're not going. I'm sorry, but if I have to give you money every paycheck, then that's not happening. No, you're staying on the team.
Here's why he doesn't give a fuck. And 5 contracts in his career for a total value of $185 million. He's set.
Yeah, and he's probably smart with his money. Mm-hmm. And I have no problem with Jonas Valanciunas, but I just don't get the whole yeah, let me go to Greece and I gotta still pay. I'm not for that. So
Maybe
um,
him and Jokic have a beef we don't know about. Maybe he's just avoiding being there.
maybe he has a beef with Giannis. Here it is. He has a beef with Giannis, and he wants to take over as the great Greek god in Greece. That's it.
There you go. There you go.
Nothing.
No, I mean, that's the thing. I agree with both of you in the sense of like, if I don't have to pay him, just
They would have to see whether Serbia and Lithuania do have a given beef against each other. Maybe Serbians and Lithuanians don't want to be around each other.
as well as far as I've heard, the Greek team that's offering him a contract is possibly offering him more than the Nuggets are, or that
Never,
he's currently on for the
Yeah.
Kings.
never.
Pretty
They're gonna offer him.
That's,
They're gonna offer
I
him
mean,
22 million.
that's what I've read. Yeah, from the sounds of it, they're not saying what the contract is, but there's a team that specifically has reached out to him
Why?
and wants him that bad.
He must have impregnated the owner of the team's daughter.
I mean, you never know these days. It's 2025, but
No chance, Mikey. The Greek basketball average salary range is 60K to 250K.
yeah, there's no way.
I don't know. There's something that makes him want to play over there. I don't know what it is, but yeah, if I have to pay you, you're staying. I don't even care. Like at that point, you're even if you don't play, you'll sit there. You'll sit behind the bench, and you will fulfill your contract one way or another. But if I don't have to pay you, if there's some sort of opt out clause, or if he retires from the NBA and I no longer have to pay him, then see it. Bye. Like I don't, because yeah, I don't need. I have like 1 or 2 years left to win a championship. I don't need that. I don't need someone that doesn't want to be here. So that's why, like, even if at this point, if I was Denver, even if he is staying, if I have to honor the contract, if he doesn't want to play for me, then you're just not playing. Because at the same time, I don't need somebody on the floor that doesn't want to be here. So you'll sit there. Congratulations, you're gonna make your money for doing nothing. But you're coming you're coming to the arena, you're coming to team events, you're coming to team activities. You're at least fulfilling that part of your contract with me.
Listen, does that talk of Al Horford going over there too?
I mean, I think is Greece about to become the new like Saudi Arabia in soccer, where they just grab veteran players that they can.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm not sure. I'm not sure what is going on with him. I don't know. Maybe he just wanted to make headlines this year because he hasn't really been in the news lately. So, well, congratulations, you're in our news. So, but kind of moving on to NBA free agency. We got free agency coming up. A lot of signings. There is and there isn't. Right, a lot of the guys are already signing their max. 5-year max. They're already doing their thing, but. Which one would you think is going to be like make the least sense throughout the season? I got mine. Mine's Chris Paul.
Yeah, go.
I don't think Chris Paul makes any sense. Just go retire. Like you haven't been relevant. You weren't relevant on the Spurs. You haven't been relevant since the Suns went to the championship game, and you did what you normally do. I would just say, just retire, dude. Like, what are you coming back for? Because most likely he's not going to sign with a contender because they're not going to want to pay him the money he wants.
That's true. Unless he really wants a ring and is willing to take a huge pay cut.
Jay, what free agents are you going to be like, damn, that doesn't make any sense?
I don't understand the Porzingis is going to make Atlanta better. Porzingis hasn't been on the floor that much. I mean, if he could give you half a season, that's a lot. I think in the last 2 seasons, including the playoffs, he's played somewhere in the range of maybe almost 100 games. So you're saying that you're bringing a guy in and Trae Young needs a rim defender and they need viable defense and they need toughness around the rim. And yes, Porzingis is at health a super talented player, but I just don't think that's the right move for them. They should have gone after someone like brought Capella back or bring in a center that they already have some chemistry with, like figure out somebody who has not shown you that they're not going to be able to be on the court and miss 40 games in a season. So I feel that signing just like I'm Trae Young and I'm pissed off. You're trying to keep me in Atlanta and you're giving me a washed up center that can't fucking finish half the year and probably is going to miss the playoffs because it's the later half that he ends up having the knee and foot problems. It just doesn't make sense to me when you're trying to keep your superstar in Atlanta that you're not more aggressive and you're not bringing in younger talent to want him to stay there and play there to try and win there.
Mine is, and it's kind of a minor signing in the grand scheme of things as far as name goes, but it's Dorian Finney-Smith signing a 4-year, $53 million deal in Houston, where it's like he's become like, I guess this seen as like a 3-and-D type of like quality bench player, but a 4-year deal for him, and he's 32 years old, and I just feel like with that team, especially because he literally plays the same position and style as Kevin Durant, that he's kind of by mid-season just going to get lost in the shuffle. And I mean, honestly, I could see him the way their roster is constructed and the way their young players seem to be continuing to step up. I could see him completely falling out of the rotation by mid-season.
They wouldn't give him $50 million if that was what they wanted him to do, though. He's definitely going to be an option for KD not to log a lot of minutes in the first quarter of the season, and they're going to see whether or not he can lead the second team, right? So I feel like you have to take a risk and pay somebody who is becoming a better three-point shooter, because that's what Kevin Durant's going to get now. He's going to get a lot more space and room to shoot with these young guys driving and playing much more fast-paced basketball than the Suns did. The Suns played a dreadful style of basketball that did not suit KD's style, and I can't wait for Devin Booker to sign somewhere else, because talk about a player who's just rotting away in a situation right now that seems like he won't even get a shot to win a first-round game.
But he did that to himself. I mean, he had the opportunity a couple of years ago he's re-signed that max deal, and he had a chance to go somewhere else, knowing the landscape of the whole team. They wouldn't.
But the team was right there. They were 2 games away from winning, and it's not like the owner said, "I'm not going to commit to trying to keep some of these players." But all of a sudden, the team was just dismantled in a matter of a year.
Yeah, for him, you saw the writing on the wall. Even getting KD, I mean, KD, I'm not saying he's washed up, but he's not the same player, and he gets hurt very often. And he gets too often now, and it's sad to see because he gets hurt too often. The Dorian Finney-Smith, I don't mind it because it's depth, and depth wins championships. And you're not asking him to go out there and score 30 points. I mean, a game. He's not in a 4-year, $20 million contract, $30 million,
53.
Yeah, it's kind of normal for a bench guy nowadays. For a guy that comes off the bench
I just don't think he's going to end up playing.
Because there's too many young guards. I mean, they got rid of Jalen, so I mean, if they're gonna
have some second team coming in. I mean, I cannot see him playing. I mean, they're not gonna let KD go play 38, 40 minutes a game. They're not gonna have that in the first half of the season if they want to really win a championship right now. I can't see that. I don't know.
You know why he's not gonna get playing time? Because of Reed Shepherd. Reed's going to get his ass on the bench. Let's go, Reed Shepherd. Let's go. Kentucky represent.
Well, taking it from the hardwood to the movie theaters, if you could play one character in a sports movie, what movie and which character?
Mikey's dying to answer this one. Go ahead, Mikey. Take us away.
It's an easy answer for me. I'd want to be Herb Brooks in Miracle. Because that's obviously it's one of, if not my favorite sports movie ever. But also, it's such an iconic moment in sports history that, obviously, you can't go back and live it if you weren't there. So it's the closest you're going to get to being in that moment. And the way they shot that movie was so realistic to the actual moment and to the situation that I would just want to be a part of that, both from a production standpoint and from just like being able to feel even a quarter of what he was able to feel in the moment of beating the Soviets. So I just think that would be really fun to be a part of.
I don't know. That's a good one. I don't know which character I would want to be. I never really thought about that. Jamie,
I'll go. I would want to be Al Pacino in Any Given Sunday. I just thought like his character was so defining, and he kind of drew. I mean, Al Pacino draws anybody in with his acting style, but I'd like to have been in that position just because I heard that LL Cool J and Jamie Foxx were feuding so often when they were filming, because LL Cool J takes everything so freaking serious that Jamie Foxx is just trying to have some fun and stuff, and he has obviously more time on screen than he had at that point. and LL Cool J is just like getting in character mode and he's freaking cussing people out. And they're like, yo, man, chill. He's like, back the fuck off, man. I'm trying to be in character right now. And it would have been so funny for me as Pacino to be a veteran sitting down there while they're filming the movie, watching this guy with hardly any experience come in and bring this like horrible energy to the cast. I would have gone to him and just been like, put my hand on his shoulder and like, let me guide you in here, youngin'. All right. Shut the fuck up and just take my lead here. Let me show you how this goes. But I just love this character in the movie. I'd like to have a sort of like persona like that as a coach in a movie. No nonsense kind of approach. Great motivational speaker in the movie. Had some issues, of course. Most coaches who are that passionate and go all in like that have a lot of personal issues. And at the time, Cameron Diaz was, one of the hottest women in Hollywood. So, wow.
Especially what was it? Kill Bill? No, not Kill Bill. What was the movie where she was like with two other girls? What's that movie?
You guys know more than me. I don't even know that movie. I don't think I've seen it.
No, you probably didn't, but you know the movie.
Are you thinking the one with Ben Stiller?
No, the one with I think like Beyonce.
The Other Woman?
Yeah, the other one was Beyonce and the other one was someone. I think it is Kill Bill. No? Is it?
No, Kill Bill's
Uma Thurman.
Drive me nuts.
Uma Thurman. Yeah.
Let's see. Cameron Diaz movies.
She was in The Mask for some reason.
Mikey. Didn't they have a Mickey movie they made with Mickey Mantle in it?
I mean, they made 61.
Yeah.
HBO made 60. I don't want it. That's a very sad movie for both Mickey and Maris.
The Mask?
That's not fun.
The Mask was a good movie.
No, not The Mask. The 61, the one about
wearing it.
Oh.
Mantle and Maris. But that's all about like how Maris was losing his hair trying to break the record, and Mickey had a drinking problem and his knees were shot, and like it's all the sad parts.
All right.
What people never wrote about.
Let's see what movie I would want to be. I don't know. I've watched so many.
Daffy Duck in Space Jam.
Yeah. No, that's it. I want to be Daffy Duck. Give me the duck.
Sucker and sabotage. I think we've lost him again.
Let's see. Oh man, I'm
There's a lot of good options.
Shane Falco in the replacements.
There we go.
Give me Keanu Reeves' job. Get out of here. Go take a break. Go shoot John Wick or something. I want to be Keanu Reeves. I just thought that was. I always watch that movie all the time because it was on TBS.
It's a good movie.
Every single week in the summertime.
It was on TBS for the whole summer, right?
Yeah. Every time you got a chance, it was on TBS, and I was like, all right, well, I want to be Shane Falco dancing in jail. You get the woman at the end of the show, at the end of the movie or whatever, and then you just ride off into the sunset, and then you have your lineman flip the other guy's car. I like that.
And the fact he was legitimate, like the character legitimately is a really good quarterback.
Yeah.
He is a cannon. I'm not left-handed, but he is a cannon of an arm. So I'd say Shane Falco. Give me Shane Falco, Keanu Reeves. So we got Herb Brooks, Keanu Reeves, and we got Daffy Duck for Jamie. So
Al Pacino, get out of here, bro. Yeah. Classy.
Well, I mean, we got no sports on this weekend. We got baseball. Yeah. That's about it. What do you got going on, guys? What do you got?
Wimbledon. I
watched Yannick Sinner and Ben Shelton play today. That was a good ass match.
Shelton's a great player. I feel like Shelton's going to have his chance. He's only 22, so he has a long time to try and stamp his name on the major tennis circuit, and he's kind of creeping in now. Making a major quarterfinals is a big deal at 22, but it's all about Taylor right now. Taylor is going to run into the Carlos Alcaraz train in the semifinals. On the other side, you have Sinner and Djokovic, which is always a great game.
That dude's cold. Alcaraz or whatever his name is.
Alcaraz, sorry.
Yeah, Alcaraz.
Carlos,
he's down like Alcatraz.
He is.
Lockdown. That's his style for real, though. He's a dog.
That Shelton dude is kind of good for tennis because he's giving it some personality. And I heard a lot of tennis greats are not liking the way he's handling interviews, how he's kind of just being himself, and it's just let the kid be. Like tennis is like golf. You gotta let a boring sport, even though some people don't think it's boring, but
They had a
let's
guy
be
from
let's
Guadeloupe
be
that
who he
played for
is.
France, yeah, Monfils, and they hated him because his style was so eclectic. He played very entertaining
And he's
as
left
opposed
handed.
to playing very smart tennis. And the pundits hated it because they're like, the guy has enough talent to beat a Djokovic and to win the US Open or to win the French Open. And he was just much more about entertaining the crowd and playing his style. And like you said, you got to let players be who they want to be. Like, it's not about them fitting your mold and doing what you think they're supposed to do with their career. They want to make a career for themselves. They put in all that effort and they get to be the pro they want to be. So I'm kind of happy that Shelton is kind of, choosing to take his lane, which is what Agassi did at the beginning of his career until, he had to clean up his act because he was a freaking meth head and who knows what else by the time he was halfway through his career. Yeah. But what's cool with Taylor Fritz is, it's a 22-year drought right now. And, American men have been outshunned by American women because the greatest of all time just happened to, just retire a couple of years ago. And, at some point, the American men have to be like, hey, like, we are tired of being the bridesmaid. We're back. I mean, it was a golden era with Courier and Agassi and Sampras. And all of a sudden, it's like, nope, the Europeans are going to take over for the next 25 years.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Like Wimbledon is always like a fun tournament to watch. It's always like entertaining, just long. What 2 weeks?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All the Grand Slams are 2 weeks.
Which is crazy to me. There's that many tennis players.
They have 7
They,
rounds.
they have a pool play, right?
You have 7 rounds and you play every other day.
It's pool play, and then from pool play it's like double elimination, right?
No. It's just single elimination, and you just have the top 128 players or something, I believe, like who are right in the time, and then you just come down to a semifinal and a final on the Grand Slam weekend combination.
That's wild.
And as many as upsets as there were in this tournament, we got the 1, 2, 6, and 5 seed on the men's side, and I think it's almost what everybody wanted to see. Especially American tennis enthusiasts, and I think he has a shot. And Carlos is playing great tennis last year, not at the level he was last year, surprisingly. I don't know if he's nursing an injury or we don't know what's really going on. But he has a shot if he runs into Djokovic. Sinner right now is on a tear. I think Sinner is going to be very hard to beat on grass. So we'll see if the young American can do it.
Are you happy as a one of the biggest tennis fans I know? Are you happy that there are now young talent to take the reins from Federer and I'm drawing a blank on his name. I know it's
Djokovic.
Djokovic.
No, Federer and
Nadal.
Nadal.
Yeah.
Djokovic is going to be on his way out.
He'll be out soon.
Are you
Yeah.
happy that the tennis kind of it was an easy pass off, right? Like it was just like boom, right to the next guy. Shelton, you got Alcaraz, you got Fritz, you got
Sinner.
Yannick Sinner. You got all these young guys that are still in the game for another like 15, 20 years. Are you happy with how that's kind of taken that helm?
Yeah, I think the torch is being passed to a healthy group of players that are still going to play high quality tennis. What I don't think we're going to see is total domination by 2 or 3 men for a 15-year span, 20-year span. So I feel we had this joyride of really getting behind 1 or 2 guys if those are your favorites, and every year getting to see them win a Grand Slam because that's the level that they played at in their career. I don't think we're going to see that. I think the men's game is going to become like the women's game, just like in the NBA. Right now in Wimbledon, there will be an 8th women's new winner in 8 years who has not won Wimbledon yet. So
That's
8
good
new winners in 8 years. It is good for the sport.
you
Especially
have
women's,
to
because
have
the
this
women's used to have
variety.
repeat winners over and over and over. The women's just had like, it was almost like, okay, who's Steffi Graf playing in the finals? Who's Venus playing in the finals? It was so predictable.
Yeah.
So it's good.
It is good. I like to see that variety of players. I know some people don't like. I think it's good to have a couple dominant players because we always like to see an underdog take down the, like who was it? Who's the young? She was crying this week. Something happened. I forget her name. She was
Coco
a really
Gauff?
young.
Coco
No,
Gauff?
the other one, the other American. I forget her name.
Oh, Jesse Pagula.
No.
Yeah. There's a whole bunch of young ones right now.
What's her name? She won. She beat Serena and felt bad about it.
Naomi Osaka?
Yes. That's
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, she's Japanese. She's not American.
No, she's mixed. Yeah,
She's
she's mixed.
mixed.
She plays with Japan, but she's mixed. Yeah.
She was one of the ones I thought would come out and really dominate. But it's over the last like 3 or 4 years, she's kind of like plateaued. It looked like she
She
has.
hurt her foot actually playing at Wimbledon a couple of years ago. So you could tell when she plays on grass, she plays at about 80% because she's afraid. It looks like she's afraid it's going to happen again. And from that injury, it seems as though she hasn't really been 100% since. And it's hard. It's really hard to have success young and then shoulder that expectation where it's like, yes, you're the next great one. You're taking the torch from Serena. It's like, whoa, 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 whoa. That's the greatest player of all time. Please don't put that pressure on me. And she also had a hard time dealing with the media, and the media really threw her off and her taste for wanting to play the game at a young age because she was like, I don't want to have to deal with this. Like, I have mental issues and I have to come to this podium and listen to you guys tear me apart and I'm 20 years old. No, thanks. I get to choose.
Well, the PGA Tour, you don't have to. There's no media obligation. They do it because they have to. They do it because they want to. So they're getting on Rory. That's a huge thing on the PGA Tour right now, and just majors that Rory over the last maybe 3 or 4 majors has just, except the Masters, has ignored the media. Has walked right by. They ripped Colin Morikawa apart. Like a lot of these media members, I mean, they're cutthroat and they just want to see emotion. The reason why they ask a certain question, I'll be sitting there watching and you'll hear a question. It's like, why are you asking that? They want to see the person cry, have emotion, get mad, do something because it just boosts ratings.
Right.
All they care about. Like when Naomi beat Serena, I think she said sorry probably 30 times.
Yeah.
Sorry for beating her. Sorry for ending her career. It's like, why are you sorry? You just dominated the best player to ever play in the women's game. Why are you crying? Like, don't do that. I understand she probably had she came out and said she she had mental was she dealing with depression or something like that, which is a whole
anxiety and depression.
Mental health is huge, right? So I think it's if she's not comfortable in being in front of the podium, don't put her. I mean, who's the pitcher for the Royals, Astros that basically
Zach Greinke.
Zach Greinke had in his contract that he was not going to go to the podium in New York, LA, Boston, Chicago, any of the cities.
Put me in front of that media. I got my microphone. I'm ready to sing to those bitches. What do you want to ask me, Michael? What do you possibly have to ask me?
No, because your benefit is that you show up late and they'd be all gone. Be like, where'd he go?
Damn it! I missed them again. The room's empty. Shit.
Be there in 5 minutes. 2 hours later.
Yeah, but stepping out of the shadows is that one intern that wants to make a name for himself. I'm still here.
One lucky reporter that just is not giving up, is just sitting there waiting for you. I know he's coming.
Sitting on himself, waiting for me in the locker room.
He's right around the corner.
Can you hear him?
Smell like shit again. I'm sitting here for 2 days waiting on the interview, buddy. You ain't getting it today either.
I'm gonna get that quote.
And that's the hardest part about like journalism in general is like you see a lot of these guys. They're dicks and they're real assholes to these media members, and they're their own fault. They make them. They write bad stories. They don't get the truth.
They write about personal stuff.
Personal stuff that goes on that has nothing to do with the on-field stuff. I don't care what they do outside the field,
unless it's wrong.
If it's wrong, okay. But if it's wrong, I would rather them just take care of it, and I don't need to hear about it. You know what I mean? I don't need to hear about it, like say, hey, this person is a bad person, da da da, whatever happened to him. Okay, cool, bye. But like anything, I got a story update today about Russell Wilson. It was like, oh, Russell Wilson and Sierra show explicit on a yacht in Greece, and it's like, I don't give a shit. Like,
have you heard like how crazy some of the old NBA stories are with teammates that didn't like each other and how they used to go at each other? There was a story, I can't remember who was playing for Seattle in the late 80s with Vernon Maxwell and some other forward. And the story is insanely crazy. Like they were playing a card game before practice and Vernon Maxwell won. And he went up to his teammate in practice and said, pay me my effing money before you leave here. And then they start throwing bows on the court right there in practice. Of course, coaches and everybody go nuts. They kick them out of the practice facility. They try and redirect them. One has to go to the locker room. Of course, they're trying to redirect them. Well, all of a sudden, everybody thought it's over. The other guy comes running in the locker room with a 2x4. He's ready to go at it again. They calm him down. He goes back outside and waits for Vernon Maxwell, who's now holding his kid, okay, a 2-year-old little daughter, comes out the elevator and the guy's waiting there to kick his ass. He literally gives his daughter to someone, and they said he beat his ass from where they were standing up. He dragged him out the building, beat his ass again in the parking lot, dragged him to his car, beat his ass in front of his car, and said, "Get the F out of here." And it's like, and the guy's like, "Wait, so is that a one-off thing?" He goes, "Nah, that's just one of the craziest fights I've ever seen."
One of
So, yeah.
And that's the biggest thing. You hear a lot of stories like Michael Jordan wouldn't be this all praise person if there was media. In fact, the media that we have nowadays,
Mm-hmm.
LeBron would look like a saint, and I mean he should. I mean he doesn't do anything wrong. I think the media just makes LeBron look like a bad person. He gives back to his communities. He's always willing, trying to help, and as a family man, always with his family, always doing something right, like with his family, trying to make sure his family. It's like we ridicule this guy for doing what, It's like, yeah, shame on him for wanting his son to play with him in the NBA. Oh God, let's shit on him all season long. Bronny only got there. Okay, what do we say? What were we talking in college? You got a network. He networked. Hey, Dad,
Right.
get me on the team.
Right.
I mean, if my dad was a professional hockey player, I'd be like, hey, help me out a little bit. You know what I mean? So I don't know. It's ridiculous the way the media just tears people apart, tears people down, and then ultimately reports false stories. But those people can never recover from those stories.
Look what they did to your head coach of the Eagles. I mean, they literally tried to.
He was pretty much fired. He was fired from day one.
Yeah.
He went to the Super Bowl, and they were talking about how he had 1 year left to prove himself. Yep. He went down to 3. We lost by 3 to the greatest team and greatest player in the world. We lost by 3, and lost because of a fumble on the quarterback and
a terrible secondary. The secondary played.
And the secondary was choppy. It's like, what?
What's he supposed to do? Go out there and
defend?
Like, he gets to the but even so, he got to the last game. Like, he got to the last game of the year and almost won it, and then wins it this year. And people are still saying, I don't think Nick is the guy. It's like, what more do you want this guy to do?
Well, and for recently, like, it goes to some of the things they've been saying about Tibbs after the Knicks firing. It's just like, they're like, oh, see, he wasn't that good of a coach. The Knicks let him go. It was a smart move. And then other people are like, well, he just took them further than the Knicks have been in 25 years. Sure. So, like, it's not like he's a bad coach. Maybe they feel like they just felt like he wasn't the right person anymore. Like, that's as far as he's going to take them. But let us not discredit the fact that he took them further than they'd been in 2 decades.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, it's the media will ridicule, and some coaches deserve it because they're really ass. But some are just like, damn, give them a chance.
Just making stories for the sake of making stories.
But there's one thing that we always make up every week, and that's Stump the Squad. Let's get to it. It is time for our signature, and that is Stump the Squad.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You know what time it is. It's our favorite time of the show. It is time to play Stump the Squad. If you reach this part, thank you for listening and tuning in. Go ahead, like, subscribe, comment, and let us know if you are the true guru of sports trivia. You gotta beat us if you want to talk shit. So +2 if you get it right, -2 if you get it wrong. I'm about to. Mikey, did you win or did I win last week? Let the viewers know.
I won.
Yeah, and now on a 3-peat, I would think. Is that correct?
No, I think you beat me one of the times in there.
I know you've won too many times in the last 5 stumps. So, John, please try to win tonight, or I'm gonna win. Anyways, so John, I'd like you to start.
Yeah, I got a home run derby or an all-star game question. Stan Musial hit the most home runs in All-Star game history. How many did he hit? You know the answer, Mike.
In a single game or total career?
Total.
We talking total? Okay. No, I don't know the answer.
Oh, is it?
I do.
Is it 6, 8, 9, or 10?
9.
Do I believe him or not?
In his career, how many home runs has he hit in an All-Star game?
6, 8, 9, or 10?
Mm-hmm.
I'll go 8.
All right. Well, you guys are both wrong.
10.
It is 6 home runs total.
Oh, wow.
And that's the most.
I was going to say, I would think the most would be a little more than that.
Bonds would probably have the most. He went to what, like
They just walked him.
15 All-Star games?
Well, I mean, not a lot of people hit. You got to remember, this is the best pitchers in the game at the time.
And they get like one at bat.
And yeah, Bonds wasn't. They probably get nowadays. They get probably like 2 at bats and then they're done.
Right.
So for him to hit 6, it means his percentage is very high. So, all right, Mike, go ahead, take us back to 1862.
I did not actually. I also have an All-Star game question. Simple question. What city has hosted the most MLB All Star games? So, city in total can include multiple teams in that city over the course of history. New York City, Chicago, Cleveland, or Los Angeles?
LA.
Chicago.
This week I have successfully stumped the squad.
New York.
New York.
Mm-hmm.
Are we including like Brooklyn and whatnot too?
I don't think. I mean, yeah, that would include Brooklyn when the Giants were there, the Yankees, the Mets,
The Dodgers.
Right. Brooklyn for the Dodgers.
Damn. Okay.
I mean, so the All Star game started in 1933. So I guess
That
I don't
doesn't make
know.
sense because they at one point had a rotation of teams like Giants, Mets, Dodgers.
Yeah.
Yankees, obviously. So
And multiple ballparks for the Yankees and Mets.
That's true too. So, good one. All right. So I have -2. You have -2, and Grandpa Jay has -2. Thanks for the easy math.
-4. And you guys are about to get -4 as well right now. Gentlemen, I'm taking it to the grass. Can you tell me the last American man to win Wimbledon was Andre Agassi, Pete Sampras, Jim Courier, or Malachi Washington?
Pete Sampras. Andre Agassi wasn't American, was he?
Mm-hmm.
Really?
He was.
Of Greek, I believe of Greek descent, but yeah, he's American.
Oh, I thought he was from a different country.
Bjorn Borg. Give me the options one more time.
Andre Agassi, Pete Sampras, Jim Courier, or Malachi Washington?
Jim Courier.
Gentlemen, I have successfully stumped Mikael. John, you are this week's winner. Congratulations.
Nice.
Let's go. The GOAT is back, baby. Let's go.
Congratulations.
We need to just beat Mikey every week now because he's so far ahead. And we have, 5 shows left before this 25? Or 6?
So we're at 168. We've got
7.
7.
Okay.
Yep. So, yes, we have football season coming up. We have basketball season coming back on, NHL coming back on. But
Some leagues being okay.
So we got a lot of sports coming up. We got a lot of changes to the show we're going to be making here over the next month. Comment your suggestions. We're always open to suggestions, topic ideas. If you want to come on the show, come on.
People are going to say, stop the show. Just shut up and stop talking sports.
That's an option too.
No, it's not.
Just talk about your mama instead. I got lots of stories. My name is Grandpa Jay. I know your grandmama too.
So make sure you guys are tuning into our socials. Mike's been, ranting about everything that happens in a trade. So teams better stop making trades or Mike's going to rant about it. And Grandpa Jay's got his swim. I would say
Circuit
swim
championship.
marathon. Swim
My
marathon of
my Ocala Swim Circuit Championship Series.
he drives to and from Ocala. I told him just to swim there. Shows his team how it's done, like he used to do in the Olympics when he. And just for fun facts, ever since journalists are such liars, Grandpa Jay beat Michael Phelps in a blind match, kind of like the Rocky movie. So we'll leave it at that. We'll see you here next week for episode 169. Giggity giggity. We'll see you here next week. Single Squad out.